Are you tortured by overthinking? In today's video, we'll be diving into the fascinating topic of overthinking and how to manage it effectively from a psychological perspective, providing practical advice and coping strategies that you can implement in your own life right away. The challenges associated with overthinking are numerous. It can lead to increased anxiety, difficulty making decisions, procrastination, self-sabotage, and a constant feeling of being overwhelmed. Overthinking can also interfere with our relationships, work performance, and overall quality of life. So if you're tired of being trapped in a cycle of overthinking, join us as we embark on this journey together. Let's discover the art of managing overthinking and unlock the potential for a more balanced and fulfilling life. By the end of this video, you can expect to learn valuable techniques to quiet your mind, gain control over your thoughts, and ultimately find peace amidst the chaos. To begin with, genetics may play a pivotal role in predisposing certain individuals towards overthinking. Neurobiological studies suggest that variations in brain chemistry and neurotransmitter levels can influence cognitive patterns. Some individuals may inherit a propensity towards heightened neuronal activity in regions associated with rumination and worry, thereby making them more susceptible to overthinking. So what if you're one of them? How do you beat genetics? Managing overthinking, especially when influenced by genetics and neurobiology, is all about a comprehensive approach. From medical treatments and therapy to lifestyle changes and technology, there are many tools available to help you. Medications like SSRIs and SNRIs can help regulate those neurotransmitters and reduce overthinking. Always consult with a healthcare professional to find the right option for you. Next, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. This involves working with a therapist to identify and challenge negative thought patterns. There's also mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, which combines cognitive therapy with mindfulness practices to break the cycle of overthinking. Exercise is another great way to manage overthinking. Physical activity boosts neurotransmitters like endorphins, which can improve your mood. Whether it's running, yoga, or even a brisk walk, staying active is key. Getting enough sleep is crucial. A consistent sleep routine can improve brain function and reduce overthinking. Good sleep hygiene, like keeping a regular sleep schedule and creating a restful environment, makes a big difference. Early environment and upbringing can also significantly contribute to the development of overthinking tendencies. Childhood experiences, parental modeling, and familial dynamics can imprint cognitive styles. For instance, growing up in an environment where rigid critical thinking and meticulous analysis is highly valued may inadvertently foster a habit of overthinking as the exclusive way of problem solving or decision making. In such a setting, the value placed on thoroughness and precision can create an expectation that every aspect of a situation must be analyzed before taking action. This can lead to analysis paralysis, where individuals feel compelled to consider all possible outcomes and variables, often to the point of excessive rumination. The pressure to be meticulous can make it difficult to take decisive action, as the fear of overlooking something important looms large. Additionally, life experiences where one is constantly exposed to stressful situations can act as catalysts in the evolution of overthinking behaviors. Traumatic events such as betrayal, loss, or failure can deeply impact an individual's sense of control and security. In response, overthinking may emerge as a coping mechanism, the only way to regain a semblance of certainty or preempt potential threats, as a means of seeking resolution or avoidance. When we encounter uncertainty or potential threats, our minds often seek ways to regain a sense of control. By meticulously analyzing every possible outcome, we feel like we're preparing ourselves for any scenario, which can provide a temporary sense of certainty and security. It's important to note that managing overthinking is not about suppressing or ignoring our thoughts, but rather developing a healthy relationship with them. One perspective on managing overthinking is to practice mindfulness. I understand that some people are resistant to practicing mindfulness. You might think it's too new age or feel like you don't have time for it. Maybe you've tried it before and felt like it didn't work for you. These are all valid concerns, but mindfulness isn't about clearing your mind completely or sitting in silence for hours. It's about finding small moments of awareness throughout your day. Start with just a few minutes. The key is consistency and being kind to yourself. If your mind wanders, it's part of the process. Mindfulness, rooted in ancient contemplative traditions like Buddhism, involves deliberately paying attention to the present moment with openness and without judgment. At its essence, mindfulness invites us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations with a sense of curiosity and acceptance. When applied to overthinking, this practice enables us to step back from the automatic flow of racing thoughts and cultivate a more spacious and non-reactive awareness. This distance is crucial because it disrupts the cycle of rumination and worry that characterizes overthinking. Instead of getting entangled in the content of our thoughts, we can learn to view thoughts as passing events in the mind, much like clouds drifting across the sky. This shift in perspective allows for a clearer discernment of what truly matters and what is merely the product of our mind's chatter. So take a moment to experience solitude and silence for about 10 to 15 minutes. Allow yourself to detach from the constant flow of thoughts and sensations. Rather than trying to control or suppress or solve what comes to your mind, simply let go and be present without focusing on anything specific. Remain aware of awareness itself, observing from a place of detachment. You'll begin to notice that everything, thoughts, feelings, and external stimuli, arises and passes away on its own, like clouds passing through the sky. Meanwhile, you remain like an empty, unchanging space, peaceful, content, and unaffected by the mental chatter and external distractions. I encourage you to take action today. Subscribe to our channel to receive more valuable content on mental health and well-being. Like this video and share it with others who may benefit from these strategies. Together, let's create a community of support and empowerment. Another perspective is to challenge our thoughts and reframe them in a more positive and realistic light. Overthinking is fueled by negative self-talk and catastrophizing, thriving on distorted negative interpretations of events and situations, which can lead to a spiral of worry and anxiety, amplifying the perceived magnitude of problems. The process begins again with awareness, becoming attuned to the thoughts that contribute to overthinking. Negative self-talk, such as self-criticism or catastrophic predictions, is a common trigger for overthinking. By recognizing these thought patterns, which means seeing these thoughts as simply a habitual way in which our mind functions, we can start to challenge their validity. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? What evidence supports or contradicts this thought? Is it possible that I'm thinking this way just because of a long ingrained habit? Is it possible my thoughts appear true only because I've been repeating them for years and so they seem to be expressing how things really are? This critical inquiry helps to reveal the irrationality or exaggeration inherent in many overthinking tendencies. Once you've identified the distortions in your thinking, work on reframing your thoughts into more balanced and constructive, empowering narratives. There is a really neat technique called thought diffusion that you might want to look up. Imagine you're preparing for a big presentation at work, and you keep thinking, I am going to mess up and embarrass myself. First, you recognize this intrusive thought and clearly state it to yourself. I'm having the thought that I am going to mess up and embarrass myself. Next, you acknowledge that this is just a thought, not a fact. To help separate yourself from this thought, you visualize placing it on a cloud and watching it float away, or writing it on a leaf and letting it drift down a stream. This visualization helps you see the thought as something separate from you, something that can come and go. After this, you return your focus to preparing for your presentation, reminding yourself that thoughts do not have to control your actions or emotions. You think, there goes that thought again. Now, back to preparing my presentation. By visualizing the thought as something external and transient, you reduce its emotional impact and can refocus on the task at hand. This practice helps you see thoughts as temporary mental events rather than absolute truths. Please understand that the thought "I always fail" only feels true because it has been repeated over and over again and has now become part of your natural paradigm and thus your assessment of life situations. Whereas the thought "I'm a successful person" is foreign and thus feels uncomfortable within the nervous system. The brain is wired to keep on thinking the same thoughts, and any attempt at modifying a pattern, a habitual thought, will come with a sensation of discomfort in your body, accompanied by a thought saying, "This new thought is not true." If you acknowledge the discomfort in your body without assuming it comes from the untruthfulness of the thought you are trying to implement, but from its newness, you will be able to start and keep repeating the new thought until it becomes a pattern, which in turn will lead to you thinking and acting as a different person who will have different results in life, results that will support the desired paradigm. Practicing self-compassion is integral to this process. Acknowledge that everyone experiences negative thoughts and self-doubt at times, and treat yourself with kindness and understanding. This compassionate stance helps to counteract the harsh inner critic that fuels overthinking. Remember, while these strategies can be effective, it's important to recognize that everyone's experience with overthinking is unique. What works for one person may not work as well for another, so please explore different techniques and find what resonates with you personally. This is a journey on which, with practice and patience, you can learn to manage your thoughts and live a more balanced and fulfilling life. Be kind to yourself as you navigate this process that will empower you to take control of your inner narrative, fostering a more positive and realistic mindset that will support your overall emotional resilience and mental clarity. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.